I feel so deep inside of me. It cannot be that when in me you set me free. That man
Another edition to Channel Call is pretty much what we call it. We haven't been doing much on the radio for everybody that's paid attention last few years. There's been a lot of transitions. I've spoken about it a lot, but we are actually revisiting one of my very first recording sessions. If he wasn't the first, he was the third. I can't remember, but to my left we have KJ.
Yay, what's
Yeah.
up?
Good to see. Yes.
Been so long.
It has been. Yeah, you like I said, we had a band called the Astronaut.
Right.
We had a band called their name escapes me. And then we had you, and I think you are a third. You were the first. You were the first session that I didn't personally know. The band, the Astronauts band, and this other one that I don't remember. They were friends of my son.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I remember because
Yeah,
I had
they
the
were-
guitar and they liked my style.
They were friends of my son. Yeah, they were friends of my son. You met my project band Black Hand, where you
Okay.
did the keyboard, where you met Matt. You met the whole band, but Matt Piram, the keyboard player, worked on a couple of your songs, if you remember that.
If I'm assuming, I probably did. We did
Because we did 3 songs. We did Mother.
We did the Mother Night. I'm assuming we did Took Me Away, and I'm
Sounds right.
assuming I did I'm Drowning at the time.
Could be. Yeah.
Could be. Those
yeah.
are 3 I was.
Yeah. Those were
Working with.
Those were the ones you were working. Like I
Yeah.
said, this was 5 years ago. I mean, the studio.
Okay.
The studio will be here 7 years.
Right.
This Thanksgiving.
Mm.
Yeah, if you can believe it. We put it in here in its current location, in its final location 3 years ago. I got it out of the house because I wanted my house back. But yeah, and I wasn't really using this garage space, and it's worked out really well. But yeah, it was probably you were a third act, and I do remember that. And Matt came in and did the keyboards, and it turned out really nice. I thought so. We'll start. What have you been doing since the last time I've seen you?
Oh, I've been.
Let's hear. I'm. You know what? Let me open my drink here. Let me sit back, and I want to hear what KJ's been doing since the last time we spoke.
Well, last time we spoke, I've been doing, like I said, a lot of soul searching. I've been doing a lot more interviews after we met. I did the WGN News around the time we met, most likely, and then did iHeart Media at the time with Daryl Dinner. I'm assuming I did that. This was like way around the time I
Right.
met you,
Yeah.
and then I had to take a hiatus. You know, it
Well,
was-
everybody did because we met right before COVID. It was 2019.
Yeah,
And
it
then-
was. Oh yeah, so I met
yeah.
you. Oh,
Yeah. And then,
after then.
And then
Okay.
yeah. And
It
then
was after.
or it was the COVID year. It was 2019, 2020, around there.
It was.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what? That's why I can't see
Yeah.
how all these few years passed by.
Right.
And I just can't remember. But
Yeah.
I took a hiatus because I
What
want
motivated you to do that?
church. I found
Okay.
a new church, Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I have met some amazing good friends, a lot of missionaries.
Good.
And that kind of changed my whole perspective on what I was doing as far as giving a relationship with God and just knowing more about myself more. And to think of it, ever since I've been with this church, it's just none but good things a little bit starting to happen. I met a new guy, his name is Jed Bureau, shouts out to him. He's sort of like a music mentor and a manager for me, so I met him last year. And then I just knew that it was just gonna be fire between us because he asked me to, since I'm part of a church, then my mom and a few other people suggest that I should sing gospel or Christian.
Sorry about that, people. Ooh, we got to take a pause. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry about that. I had to do some dog sitting things, and we're back. So we're trying to figure out. It's around the 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
We got through the COVID. When did you take your break?
I took it around the time I met you. Probably
Okay.
around
So it's-
COVID time. It
So
was around,
so
like,
probably
2020.
end of 20, beginning of
Yeah.
21, and then when did you find the church?
I found them in 2021.
Okay.
So I found them
So about
like
3
around,
years ago?
Yeah, I found them like 3 years ago.
Okay.
I got to know them.
Mhm.
Got baptized. Just still today, familiar with the church. I'm like a little started a little bit, you know. So I'm just more like a personality type person. But in the transition, I had to find myself, regroup, and then
Right.
2023, probably around
You
the
met
time
your manager?
I met my guy Jed, and around the time I was turning 30. So it was like before I turned 30. Just say 29. I
Alright.
met him. And then by that time, we just had to figure out what my goal was and just where it's like we had to plan things out from start to finish.
Understand? Game plan,
And then-
roadmap, whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it. It's the way to success.
And then,
So yeah, go ahead.
and then that's when he asked me about song skills, or I guess the songwriting. And he figured that, okay, since I'm in my hometown of Gary, Indiana, then he asked me, he gave me a challenge, and I accepted the challenge because I think like, okay, what challenge he want to give me? So I thought it was another little bit. And he asked me to write a song about me living in Indiana, Gary, how the environment is, how do you feel about it? And then I was like, okay, let me see how I'm gonna, because I never written a song about my city before, a little bit, until I went on YouTube, like I did when I played the guitar,
Right.
YouTube, and I found some very instrumental Christian beats,
Okay.
R&B. Didn't think nothing of it, but I said, you know what, this is different. Let me try it. And next you know, I started to write my first song, and then I wrote the second one, and then third, then fourth, and fifth. It's like each song, each instrumental on there was like speaking to me like a calling. It's kind of like a calling.
Okay.
So God shows you a calling, and then He gives
So-
you to do it.
Is your music Christian inspired or Christian gospel? Because if I'm not sure if you're aware, there is a Christian inspired band, a rock band called Skillet. They are huge, and probably 10, 12 years ago, maybe a little longer, what they would do is they would go the secular circuit for half the year, and then they go do Christian revivals the other half. Well, then they've gotten so big, they stick strictly to the secular circuit. But if you listen to their music, it's not overtly Christian, but the message is.
Yeah.
The message, there's a lot of, you could take it as a non-Christian person and love the song, but then you can get even more meaning being a Christian person. Is yours straight up gospel, or is it just Christian inspired?
It's Christian inspired. It's more like Christian R&B, because it still has that Christian, like you said, the message, but it has that R&B flavor, that
Right.
little soul to it. So that's what I kind of.
But it's not gospel.
It's not gospel.
Okay, so it's Christian inspired.
It just sounds like
Yeah, Christian inspired.
basically
Yeah.
just have the strength, the faith, and
Right.
just believe,
Yeah.
and just know that He's there everywhere you go.
Yeah, if you looked up the band Skillet, like a frying pan, and
I think you told me about
Yeah,
that
but-
one
yeah.
time.
we read
yeah.
well because they're huge. They are, and they've only keep
And I ain't
they-
never heard them like
They're,
spitting like
yeah, well, they make fun of their name. They do. When you go see them live, yes, our name is Skillet, like the frying pan. That's just who we are.
Yeah.
But reading their lyrics, you can, and knowing their background, knowing they all follow Jesus Christ. They all are very big in the Christian community. It's like, okay, they have a song called Monster.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, it could be about a monster, but it also could be about your demons that
Right.
God will help you get through.
Yeah, that's
It's
what it
the
is.
double entendres of their music is really amazing. Really phenomenal.
Right.
I really do like them. Haven't listened to them much in recent years, but that's only because
Yeah.
I got old, and pretty much now I don't listen to anything other than 70s and Frank Sinatra.
Well, my type, I just more like old school R&B.
Oh,
Like
heck yeah.
Late,
Oh, heck
like
yeah.
I'm more like the late '90s, mid like early 2000s type R&B.
You
know,
can't beat. Let me see if I can remember them from the late '90s. You can't beat Jodeci.
Right.
You can't beat Boyz II Men. You can't beat En Vogue. You
Michael
can't-
Jackson?
You
That's my
can't,
favorite.
You can't beat TLC.
Yeah.
I'm talking as groups.
Yeah.
Individuals.
Uh-huh.
Individuals. You have Mary J.
Yeah.
And of course you have Michael.
Aaliyah and Janet.
Aaliyah, and
Like
Janet.
Aaliyah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
mean,
like those type. Like,
You
total
can't.
artists
You
like
can't beat that. You
No.
cannot beat that.
Them legends.
That era of R&B, because it was still vibing off of Motown.
Right.
Where now R&B today isn't much different than pop today, and it's just,
Yeah.
all right, let's find a beat online and let's just make it sure it's the same 3 chords it always is,
Right.
and let's write some homogenized vanilla lyrics that can go on any song.
Right.
I mean, the way songs are written today are really, and that's something I want to get into.
Yeah. Songwriting.
Yeah, the songwriting. We'll get into that a little bit down the road. So, tell me about the new song. And yes, I'm sorry I haven't heard it. My fault. Been busy. He sent me the link like a week and a half ago.
Yeah, I think I
But
said
I've been in 3 states since he sent it, and I just haven't had time. I have no reference. So tell me about the new song. What's it called? And what was the inspiration other than your Christian path? And what is it about?
Okay, the song is called I Believe. It was written by me and my manager, Jed Buer. It was a collaborative moment, and what happened was since I was, like I said, a part of the church again, going back to, like I said, missionaries, Jesus Christ and Latter-day Saints. And, you know, for me being so inspired with them and inclined with them, then that just kind of incorporated in there stuff that I was trying to deal with, and still today trying to battle all my demons and personal afflictions and addictions that came corresponding with the songwriting. You know, I sent them the beat. We was communicating back and forth. I written some of the stuff that was on the song, and then he added his version, so I used whatever he had and put it into the song that I was singing, because he heard my tone before. You know, we had did all the alterations, so he heard the song before, and then he just said, okay, why don't you use these and see how it fits? And it kind of did. It was like a blessed collaborative moment. So it was just an inspiration that I found to have a little bit of peace within myself, a little bit, working through my battles and just having the faith of God and just believing in Him that anything is possible. So the song goes out to anybody that's, you know, ever feel like they not less worthy or don't have the confidence in them. God is right there. You just have to build that confidence within yourself. I just say, in order for you to get to know me, you got to know yourself. So that's what you have to know yourself before you get
I
to know
actually think that's a very wise statement
Yeah.
in dealing with anybody.
Yeah.
And one thing I like, you know, if you don't remember, I am a near 30-year Buddhist. I don't follow Jesus Christ. I have no problem with it.
Right.
Some of the messengers are pretty messed up, but that's in any religion.
To each his own.
Well, that's in any religion. You know, any religion, you have your bad apples.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, some of them get more press than others, the
But-
terrorists, and
yeah,
Christian
but-
nationalists, etc. But I like, you know, just by the name I Believe, the non-Christian would get something out of it because it's a positive message about believing in you or yourself or whatever your belief is my takeaway from just the way you explain it.
Yeah.
And those kind of songs are the songs that resonate.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about.
It was a transition change, and that's what I wanted. Like I told myself, I would love to inspire other people. Like my guy asked me, Jed. He said, KJ, where do you see yourself a year from now? And I told him I want to see myself doing more music, inspiring other people, and just, you know, wherever follows my path, then that's just gonna go. But I want to inspire everybody else to know that, you know, you can do it. You just gotta believe in yourself, and
Right.
don't hold anything back, even if like it's from like singing, acting, carpentry, entrepreneur, business, anything that you want to do in life. That's entirely up to you. You just gotta believe it that you can do it, because most people have self-doubt, and that's what we all, you know, self-doubt. Everybody has self-doubt because they think that
Unless you're
we gotta live for somebody else
Yeah.
and just make everybody else, you know, you're supposed to please everybody else. No, you're supposed to please yourself. And
Correct.
if you have God within you, to each his own.
Right.
Most people, are an atheist. But that's cool. I mean, that's okay. That's cool. That's everybody has their own theory. But if you believe in yourself, then that's all that matters.
I think what I'm finding that statement, most people are atheists, probably was more accurate early 2000s. I would say with the first part of the Gen Z. I find in the last 10 years or so, I think people are more spiritual.
Right.
Because they've seen so many false prophets. They've seen so many charlatans all over. And with the proliferation of these stupid devices and everything is all now just propaganda, you find out what works for you.
Right.
And you tend to believe what you can tangibly see, touch, and their word. Not what you see on TV, not the people with the mansions and say, give me all your money and put your hands on the TV to be saved.
I don't see the news no more.
Right.
I just stopped. The reason why I stopped seeing the news because it's just too much going on. I look at look at social media and I just believe it, but still, again, I just don't watch it no more because it's like, what is it to believe? It's everything is just nonsense.
In today's world, it's all censorship. It is. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. I don't care what I don't care. It is. Everyone, we've got too many people, way too many people that are more interested in being led than we have people that want to be leaders.
Yeah.
People that want to be led are why we have such a high percentage of people following.
You got the followers.
Following
You
it.
got the followers
And hey, you might be too young to remember Jim Jones.
No, I'm not. I know Jim Jones.
That's a cult. That was a cult. And there was and David Koresh down in Waco, that was a cult. And then you look at the MAGA, you look at ISIS, you look at any of the extremes, and the people that follow them, you just scratch your head. You can't believe anything. And pretty soon with AI, you can't believe anything on that doggone phone.
Yeah.
You can't.
Because it'd be like
Because it's too easy.
It's too lies. It's like lies and truths.
And it's too easy to manipulate. So you have to question everything.
Right.
But I have come across a lot more young people that are spiritual.
Right.
They might not be a church goer, but they don't necessarily poo-poo it, other than like the Joel Osteens that deserve it, or whatever their beliefs are. And it's just, and we need more of that. We need more songs about positivity, about believing in yourself.
That's what I'm here for. So hopefully, we, like I said, besides that song, I got a whole list of songs that I've written.
Is that the only new song you've got recorded?
That's the only new song I have recorded now. But
when did you release it?
I released it in March, so that was like 4 months ago. So what we doing was we want to do it step. He asked me, we are going to build on this song first to see what reaction it's getting, because I have to, like I said, I'm very a patient person, but I'm persistent. But I have to let time it.
Right.
Time is priceless.
Tell everybody out there where they can find the song.
Oh, I believe you can find the song on all streaming platforms.
Under what name?
It's KJ.
That's it?
K and J.
So you can find KJ. So I believe KJ, and that's it.
On Spotify, Amazon, YouTube. It's just all social streaming platforms a lot. So.
And what is your social media handle for everybody that wants to find you on Instagram and all the platforms?
Instagram is KJ_James7030. Facebook KJ James. So yeah, and shouts out to Jay, my buddy, and everybody else who keeps supporting me, my church family, my family, my mom and God, and everybody else, and my nieces and nephews, and my close homeboys, and Davin, Kay, Ty, and Evan. My boys. So yeah.
Wonderful, good deal. So now I want to pivot, since we talked about the song. You said how many more you got? How many more you got?
Ooh,
I want to finish that topic you were talking about before I asked for all your social information. You've released I Believe in March, and you're doing it in steps.
Yeah.
So describe what your path is. When are you going to go for the second song? When you want to release the second song? Do you have any of that? Or,
I have all songs written down already. So
but nothing
I'm
recorded other than I
nothing
Believe.
recorded than just this one because
How-
I wanted to try new different eras with this because it's
Gotcha.
still new to me.
Right.
And so that's what we wanted to do first, and then we're gonna do a video to it very soon. We in discussions about it,
Alright.
and so that's what everybody's waiting on. They said KJ, because this song is like powerful, and we need to have a video just to get more of the message of what the song is. So
And
that's
get it
what,
out.
and get it out there so everybody can expect the next song. So that's why he asked me, KJ, you have to continue to write and perfect your craft. And then once we have more time, you will have like a entire collage to record. Because I got like a total of 15 songs that I've
Oh, that's
written
an album.
within
Yeah.
from
15.
August of 2023 to July of 2024.
15 songs is an album.
But
How
I
is
want
the song doing?
this song is
How is it doing?
progressing
How's it
good.
doing?
It's
You're liking the
progressing
numbers?
good. I like
It's
the
getting out
numbers
there?
because I have a lyric video on Facebook that I probably tagged you, and it's gotten over 100K,
100,000.
100,000 like views. So it's different, but it's like, and then plus I have to elevate and train my voice because it grown. So it's a start, but like I said, I thought about doing an 8-track, EP. Most likely, this is like you said, an album, but I decided to do like an 8-track EP, most likely.
Yeah.
To that's why I said I got like 15 songs written, but it takes time for me to write a song if I get inspired by the moment. And it's just
True
like
artist.
different.
A true
It's
artist.
different,
Yes.
And like I said, we are talking about collaborations and just speaking with other people, and me trying to find certain people like you said, a band, try to help see different elements of my song, how I could use it, like you said, in a band version.
Right.
I want to try to see how can I work and adapt with the band or any other artist that's more, just more like humble, but because I don't like all that cursing, I don't do all that. I can't do it because it's not.
Well, you're the lyricist, so
Yeah, so I have certain. I wouldn't say I'm picky, but I'm just very particular on which person that I would like
I don't blame
to
you.
work with, and just have the energy vibe.
I don't blame you at all.
Yeah.
I mean, and part of I mean, any art, unless you are a painter and artist, which is solitary, but any art requires chemistry, and if you don't have the chemistry, you're not going to have success.
Yeah.
You're just not.
Like
It is. That's just a matter of fact. So, yeah, if you don't have the chemistry, it's not going to work.
and
So
then
it's very
you have
important
to
who
go
you
through a
work with.
lot of failures. You have to go through a lot of no's in
Yes.
order to somebody say yes. And I've learned, and you have to take one constructive criticism and rejection. Rejection is painful. I mean, it's like being stabbed with a knife in your chest.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, but sometimes
Nobody likes rejection,
But-
and nobody likes criticism.
how I've learned to take rejection is like, okay, a lesson learned. I just gotta strive for more. I say, you know what? If you're not gonna like me, then somebody else will.
What I say, and this is my flow as an engineer producer, when I'm working with a project or anybody, I record it all, I send them away, they let me produce it, and then I show it to them, and then I say input. I don't want criticism, because criticism I think is counterproductive.
Yeah.
But your input is valuable.
Opinion.
Yeah, you're in. Well, you know what? I was hearing this, or you know what? I really don't like that snare sound, or you know what? I'm not really happy with how the vocals sound. Perfect. Okay, now vocalize what you're hearing or
Yeah.
what you're thinking, because just saying I don't like it. Why? I don't know. Can
Yeah.
we redo it? Are you paying?
And-
Are you paying the time to redo it? Because that's bringing people in, that's remiking, that's recutting. You want to pay for it, and that's the problem.
And
a lot of
then-
today's people don't understand the time involved, and so it's about constructive input,
Yeah.
not necessarily criticism.
And then you can't get upset or mad because
Right.
you taking the time to work on a song, and like you said, it all depends on how you see a vision
Right.
of what the song Jed, he sees the same vision that I see. So I learned from him. He teaching me how to, like, you know, this is what you have to do, how to talk, how to say, like, you know what, if you're able to work and collaborate with somebody, you say, you know what, I appreciate it, I thank you so much, and we're work together in the near future.
Right.
And then, you know, if things don't work, just say, okay, is there any way, like you just said, can we work around it or try
Right,
to switch anything?
exactly.
If you don't like it, just ask.
And that's, or just say it. Hey, I don't like that tone. All right, I have a pretty good when, you know, because I record bands,
Right.
and recording a band is a 4-step process. You get the bass, drums, and rhythm guitar down. Then you do all the overdubs. Then you do all the vocals,
Right.
and any of the ancillary instruments. Then you mix it. By the time I get to the mixing phase, I've sat with that song a good while,
Yeah.
and I've heard it. Then I will literally mixing it. I will literally listen to a song 100 times if
Yeah.
that's what it needs. What do I like? What do I like? And I try different things, and because I have an idea of what I think the song would sound like, and then I give it to the band. It's like, what do you think?
Yeah.
And
Like
so-
a draft.
yeah, it's a rough mix.
Okay, like a rough draft.
And it's like, hey, this is where I'm going from here. This is where I'm going from here. Okay, this is my final mix if nobody dislikes it. And then I want input. What don't you
Yeah.
like? Or what do you want to hear different?
What's something needs
Yeah.
to, like, tweak or change?
Right, it's a collaboration.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what
like-
it comes down to.
And I think that's good that you said that, you know,
Yeah.
because I did that too with my guy Jed. Shouts out to him because, you know, he the one that made the. Like I said, it was a team effort, and we're gonna continue to do it. It's like you said, we did a recording of the rough draft of I Believe, and somehow he shared it with a lot of his good industry people that was much more experienced than me, songwriters and
Yeah, I do it too.
critics and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And then he went back to me and just said, KJ, they said your tone was very cool.
Yeah.
Your songwriting
Right.
was. And I'm like, I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, okay,
Well-
because I wanted to get back into it, and I was just afraid. But I said, you know what? Let me just, because of him, he gave me the inspiration, and, you know, and also, you know, shouts out to my mother too as well, because she stuck by me throughout this whole, you know, 10-year gap that I did. And, you know, because she kept asking me, you need to do Christian gospel, whatever, because you got church members that you around.
Right.
So shouts out to her for having that influence, you know, input, and a few other people. But getting back on the subject, you know, I have to let them hear it first because they're more experienced. I have to, like you said, constructive criticism.
It's all about
And they
input.
said, okay,
Yes.
it's like they gave me a green pass. Like,
And you're not a
you
good
know,
producer.
No.
You're not a good producer, in my opinion. I have
Yeah.
10 people from around the country,
Right.
and some in Europe, that I value their opinion.
Right.
And I will say, hey, what do you think about? Now, I don't send every song to every person
Yes, sir.
because I know what they bring to me.
Your attention.
You know, I know a guy who's a great musician, but he is so self-conscious about vocals. He doesn't like anyone's vocal. Doesn't like it. So I know not to ask him anything
Right.
about anyone's vocal because he'll always find some unrealistic criticism.
Like
and it's more his insecurity.
like a backing vocal? or
No,
something?
the lead vocal. I can send him any song and he will have a problem with the lead vocal.
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
said, that's insecurity.
And that's
easy.
on him. So I know his
Yeah.
name is Robert. He's out in California, in San Diego. But he's a good songwriter.
Right.
And that's what I want. How do you like the song? Don't tell me anything about the song other than how it was written. How do you like the song?
Right.
That's what I get from him. I send another one, my second cousin, who is in a great band up in San Francisco.
Right.
I send it to him for engineering thing because he's an engineer.
Right.
I send it to another guitar player down in Florida. I send it to a guitar player who's a professor in England. I get their input. One, I'm 60 years old. I want to make sure I can still hear. And,
you still young.
and but the ears do go, and you've got to be cognizant
Right.
of that.
Yeah.
And then especially when I hit a wall, and it's like, okay, there's something wrong here, and I can't hear it because I've spent too long on it. That's usually the problem. Or two, I'm just so stuck on what I want to do. I send it out.
Other stuff could be other stuff in your head, like
Yeah.
distractions. Like if you got something going on, you'll be off focus.
Yeah.
And
Well, no, when I walk in that room over there, which is the control room, I'm usually with my dog. Nobody's here. No one comes around. No one's allowed to be here, and it's I'm zoned in. But
Quiet.
right, and focused. But sometimes, as humans, and I know you'll do it as a songwriter, we fall in love with an idea, but we can't make that idea work. And then we need somebody that we value to say, Paul, that's the wrong way, or KJ, do it this way. And then all of a sudden we get
It
out of
click.
right. We
Yeah,
get
I
out
get
of
what you're
being
saying.
stuck.
I get
Right.
what you're saying, yeah.
So yes, your producer wouldn't be doing you justice if he didn't have people to share your stuff to.
Yeah, and I think he saw some, and I think that's the good thing, that he saw something in me, and the potential that I had. And everybody said, KJ, you got potential. It's
Right.
it's something, but you just need the little push, a little help, or it's like you said.
Well,
something
if you're
I have
not
to
always
change.
learning, you're not
know.
going to get any better.
Well, I'm
You have
learning
to.
as I go.
But you have to. You always have to learn.
Learn the business.
Which is a nice segue,
Mhm.
because I want to roll back to what about songwriting.
Right.
How does your songwriting style changed from Mother to I Believe with the time off? Has it grown? Has it matured? Has it changed completely?
It's
Tell me how you go about writing a song. The differences and the nuances and all. That.
it's the feeling. It's like
It's a vibe.
it's a vibe, but also I have to, put myself in that situation where, okay, if something that's happened that I see, then I could kind of apply it. It may not click in my head, but it will click later on once I'm in a type of timing, or like what you call it, a setting or surrounding. And then maybe I could think, okay, I have to look back on what I did within the last decade and just see, like, okay, it was good and it was fun, but it's still, I was just, like I said, in training. I knew what to do, and people still, value my effortness and, persistency, and just like you said, the songwriter has grown. It has grown and changed
In what way?
in many ways that I
Just
should have
because
done.
of the fact you've matured?
I
Because
should've
of age?
matured of age, and I'm
Okay.
getting older, and I'm kind of, like you said, maturing. But like you said, the timing, the setting, the environment, I switched over from like focusing on me.
Right.
And everybody said, KJ, you spent some time of trying to help other people. You have to focus on you and do what makes you happy, and focus on you. And that's why I begun to do focus on me a little bit and spend a quiet time, even biking. It
Right.
clears my head
Right.
to get a good song in. I just have to get inspired just by like a feeling.
How do
Intuition.
how do lyrics come? to
Oh,
you?
it just-
I love asking that question to songwriters, because I get some of the
It's-
most coolest answers.
Mhm.
Where do your lyrics? Do you struggle with the pad and paper, or is it where do lyrics come from for KJ?
It's instant. Man, it's just-
Really?
it's-
Really?
It's instant. Like if I hear a good beat, like a particular good beat,
Do
it
you
just-
have the
it
whole
just comes.
song, or is it a part and then you build it? I mean,
I build on it. It's like it's like if I hear like a verse, like a chorus to like an instrumental, then I have to build on that instrumental and see what type of tone it is. And if I could match that tone with my sound, with my voice, then I could be like, okay, let me see what this, and then the timing. I have to focus on the timing in my brain to like, okay, let me see what this timing is, and then I pause and say, okay. Then if I get stuck or songwriter's block,
Right.
then I take
everybody gets it.
I
yeah.
take a few days off, and then I come back to it, and then I just, okay, let me think about now. I have to re-sync it in my head, and then I just start to like, okay, and then I stop it, and then I replay it back like at least like I say like at least like either between like 6 or 7 times, depending on how I'm trying to get the song. I just replay it back, pause it, go back
Right.
for it, and then just build from there.
Start to finish, how long?
I mean,
I know it's not a cookie cutter. One
It
song
takes-
might take this long, one song might
Oh,
take
no,
twice.
one-
But from start to finish, how long? Days, weeks, months? How
Oh
long?
no, it take me like a few days.
Few days?
A few days to, because if I have the first verse already down, I have to make up a second chorus, and then I have to think about like a few days to make up another verse. And then the chorus, I just replay it back from what I written. I just have to think of the verse part to just think about, okay, this is where I am, what transition from this, and then I have to think about other people. So if they was in my shoes, they would feel the same way I feel.
Right.
So I'm letting other people get a taste of who
Absolutely. Everyone has one.
That's how
And
I build
everyone-
on it.
and-
And
and
it takes
no
a
one-
while though, so I'm just shocked that I've written like within like because it's almost a year since I've written my first song, and it'll be a year next month.
Right.
That I've written 15 songs within a year, but I did it in months though, but it just took time.
Right.
It's time and just
Right.
gotta
Well,
get inspired.
That's the whole thing, and that's what I tell everybody, any young person that comes through here. I have a lot of history with music. I've been doing it a long time. I took a long time off, but I also seen a lot about the business of music, not the music business, the business of music, and this notion I'm going to be famous, I'm going to be a rock star. Well, that's all relative.
Yeah.
Because define your idea of fame. Do you want to be Rihanna famous, or do you want to just make money where you can have your house, raise your family, and not work a quote real job? Doing what you love, which is music.
Yeah.
That's famous in my opinion,
Yeah.
because you're not relying, you're doing what you love.
Yeah, I'm doing what I love.
What you love as your
Yeah.
income. And also, all you do in the whole thing about music or about writing a book or a movie, you do your best, you put out there what you put out there. You put
Right.
your heart and soul into it, and then you wait for if it resonates.
And that's
And if it doesn't resonate, then you got to change.
And-
but if it resonates, that's how you get popular.
And then I
It's
think
all
about
about
the time
resonation.
frame. Like I said, I think about the time frame, how I thought back me sitting on the steps of City Hall in Gary back in 2013 when I was 21. And now I'm going to be 31 in August. And I've seen how time changes. But, me, like I said, I care about it in a way. But then again, I just care about the music and the message. The famous stuff, that's going to happen regardless. So that's going to come.
If
I'm
it
not worried about it.
If it resonates, but see, some people and a lot of people get hung up on that.
Yeah.
They're going to be famous. No, go to be a good artist.
Yeah.
David Grohl, I don't know if you know him. He's the lead singer of the Foo Fighters now. He used to be a drummer in Nirvana, and he even said go to a garage sale, buy a beat up guitar, buy a set of drums, get a couple of your friends, go in your garage and just suck.
You can create a band from that.
Well, that's what he was saying. Get a couple friends, go buy you stuff, get in your garage and just suck. And you know what? You keep sucking. And you keep doing it, and you keep doing it, and you keep doing it. And he said, you know what happens if you do it long enough, and you stay and you keep working on it? You become Nirvana. And Nirvana was the hottest grunge band in a very short time in the 90s to ever blow up. Or you become a Beatles, or you become someone like that. You just do it, and you just keep doing it, and you have belief in yourself, and you believe in what you're doing, and you put it out there, and who knows what, it might not be, I believe, it might be song 15, but that might be the one that blows up.
Yeah.
It might be song 32, but one eventually will if you just keep going.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going though, and then I'm gonna have to, after I do that, then I'm gonna go review and revise the old songs, because everybody still say, KJ, you still love the Mother Night song. I do too. I just have to focus on this new transition with my influences: Michael Jackson, Justin Timberlake, and Chris Brown. Those are kind of like my biggest influences.
Those are your biggest influences,
So I
writing
kinda
and performing?
I kind of learn from them, and then I tell myself I will be on stage. I'm gonna perform for thousands of people. I know it for sure.
There you go.
I have that, like you said, you gotta have faith in yourself,
Yes.
confidence, belief, and
That's it.
most people don't have that lack of confidence because they need, like me, like I said, in my city of Gary, Indiana, there's a lot of talent, but it's just that they just have self-doubt to actually, be the influence to put
Yeah,
our
and
city
well,
on the map.
there's a lot of Gary is a hard
And
place.
I want to influence my city of Gary, so I'm the one that's,
I'm actually gonna be somewhere in Gary. I can't remember what it's called, but there's some bar in Gary on Saturday to see Keith Jackson and the Triple Dose Band. Keith-
I don't know which. I don't know which club it's in again because I'm not a club person.
It's not a club. It's usually Keith Jackson is the first cousin to the famous Jackson family.
Yeah, they have a club out in Gary. That little place.
Let me look. It's not a club. It's not a club. Like I said, I see him play. I've seen him. The first time I saw him play was at the Hard Rock.
Yeah.
And that's not a club. That's just the casino. I saw him at the Hard Rock, which was really, really, really cool. Let me find the event, because I want to go see him. Because I'm writing an article. He's going to be at Beach Buds, Northwest Indiana, and Gary tomorrow, Friday.
Okay.
Tomorrow at 7. So I
Hey,
will
that's
be
tomorrow.
I will be at Beach Buds in Gary at 7 p.m. tomorrow to see Keith Jackson and the Triple Dose Band.
Okay. So write about him.
And yeah, well, I saw him once earlier this month. I want to see him again because he didn't have his full band, and he's going to be He's going to be my August feature in the Northwest Entertainer magazine. He is phenomenal. Being a Jackson, a famous Jackson, music is in his DNA. He is an amazing showman. He can play every instrument under the sun, and he is a lot of fun to watch. So I will be seeing him tomorrow at 7.
Oh, that's amazing.
What is the future? What are you doing for the rest of the year?
Oh, for the
What is the plan musically for KJ for the rest of the year? When do you think you'll be getting into the studio to do the follow-up song? We got the video coming this summer, correct?
Hopefully. We're discussing more about that. So yeah,
Okay.
but I want, like I said, I want to meet new people, collaborate, and just see how other people's energy can vibe with mine, and just
So we're
different
just
styles of
networking right now?
networking more. But I will be back in the studio to record new material. And
What are
it's
you
gonna be
recording?
Fire. Well, I'm gonna be recording hopefully at my manager's house because he has a home studio.
Mhm.
So or whatever it is. But I will be recording new material. It should just I have everything prepped.
Bring a manager here. Man. Show him this place. There you go. There you go.
That'll be a good.
Blow his mind.
That'll be a discussion soon, very later. But I can't say I'm perfect because everybody ain't perfect. But
Of course not.
like I said, tomorrow can't be promised a little bit. But I could just work through certain things than I was the other day. I just have to continue to be better, inspire other people.
Right.
Don't give up.
Of course not.
And just
So this year is pretty much networking
networking, but I will be
and getting the
doing
video
some,
done.
Yeah, and I will be meeting some people. I will be performing too as well at certain events. I'm
Do you have
speaking
anything
with
you can tell us now? Do you have anything that you can tell us now that you're going to be performing at?
Well, I'm discussing with
Or
like
just
I said,
nothing locked up?
just besides the interviews I got.
Right.
I got a
Yeah,
interview,
tell me. You were telling me off camera. You've got you've got a busy week. You're in here today doing this, and then you're going to do another
Friday,
one.
I'm doing another interview with
who?
With Brian. He's an old friend like you, but I've known him since probably the time when I got
What's
on
his podcast? What's his channel?
He has WIT 89.9
Okay.
FM in Chicago. It's like a college
college
radio, and it's FM.
And what's the other one you
And
got?
then I'm doing a Zoom interview on the 30th
For
from
who?
this the radio show in Atlanta.
Awesome.
The Woo podcast in
Okay.
ATL, and then I'm doing another one with this lady in my radio Chicago. I'm doing that August 1st.
Awesome.
So hopefully in
you
between
are
it,
busy.
well, hopefully in between there, I'll be able to work on discussion about, like I said, the video. I'm just still, my mind is just
Right.
very racing about that because everybody just because I told people
Get the video up.
if the lyric video, because I got, like I showed you the lyric video on social media, it's got some attention. Imagine how the video officially itself is gonna be.
Once you get a video cut, if you're getting 100K just on a lyric video, if the video is the biggest problem, and people have learned this now, the tightrope. My age, generation, first people with MTV, I hate videos. Because the problem is, and Joe Jackson said this back in the 80s too, Joe Jackson was a huge star. Then he did a song called Steppin' Out. He hated the video. The label made him record the video a certain way. It wasn't the message that he had in his head.
That's why.
And it destroyed his career because he wouldn't then make another one. The video is very important because if you send the wrong story and it's not what the listener hears in their mind, you mess it up.
Yeah.
So you
I
gotta,
told
that's
myself
why
I'm
you
very
got to be
detailed.
careful with the video.
Yeah, I'm very
You
detailed
do?
because
Yeah.
I talked to my manager Jed. He said he's very particular about who's gonna be involved in it because it's
Right.
a message that I would like for people to see, and
Well, you
I
want-
see the vision that he sees. And,
Perfect.
And he just, like I said, timely.
Right.
And he wants to get certain people involved in it to like make it much more of like this is what it is. This is
Right.
a breakout song that's gonna make KJ. It's like a map. It's like they're
Of
gonna
course.
put you on a pedestal. But like I said, I care about the music and inspiring other people. That's
Awesome.
gonna come in.
Awesome.
But like I said, the famous stuff that's gonna come in because I'm not even trying to worry about that. I just
Well,
say I want to continue to make music and inspire.
Like I
people.
said, it's levels of fame. If
Levels.
you can make a living
Mhm.
getting your music out, in my opinion, you're famous.
Independent.
You don't have if you don't have to go to a job and you don't have to work for somebody else,
Right.
and you're playing your music every weekend or 3 or 4 days a week, and you're taking care of your life. My opinion, what more can you ask for?
Yeah, one more.
What more can you ask for? So once again, where can you find? I believe on all. You can find it on all
Streaming
streaming
platforms,
platforms.
music
And tell everybody again, really clearly, what is your social media handles?
My social media for Facebook is KJ James, and my Instagram is KJ_James7030. Same thing with Twitter. So yeah, but
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Song's called I Believe. I'm going to listen to it, and I'm going to tell everybody what I think about it. And dude, it's been too long.
Trust me, when you say that, when you hear that song, you're gonna be like, "Dang, I can't stop hearing it."
Yeah.
Watch my
It's-
tail, because everybody said KJ. I
I'm
played
gonna
that song
listen
over 20 times.
I'm gonna listen to it today, but man, it's been too long.
Yes.
Let's not wait another 4 or 5 years.
Oh no! We're gonna collaborate because,
Yeah.
like I said, you gotta if you have a good. Because like I said, I'm still searching for some people to play with in like a band. I'm searching for certain people, and I'm thinking that hopefully you'll be the person that I will collaborate with.
I moved this thing 3 years ago. It's been in here. I broke my back last year. So last year I did nothing. I slipped on some ice and I broke every rib on the left side of my body. And I only really opened this up about March. And I've been
4
doing
months ago.
Yeah,
That's when my song. Yeah, because
yeah.
my song came out March.
Yeah,
15th.
about well, I started getting in here in January.
Because I remember that refrigerator.
Yeah, well, it was in the house.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
how.
that refrigerator.
It sure did. It didn't have all that.
refrigerator was in the house in the control room.
It was
which was
empty.
The
It
bedroom.
didn't have all that.
Yeah, well, that's because that was the beer show that we had. That we
That's
don't
what
do
it
anymore.
was. Okay.
But yeah, everything I brought out of the house because everything was in the house. But I got in here in January.
I'm
I
assuming
started.
I still got an old photo of us. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you
I
do.
probably got to find it.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
It was in the control room, which was a bedroom at that time. But I got in here and cleaned it all up in January. I started doing things with it in March, and then I've slowly been building up. But then now this transition in the day job has happened, which has slowed me down a little bit. But we're getting back in. But KJ, great seeing you.
Yes, man.
Definitely, let's stay in touch. Let's not wait another.
Oh no,
3 or 4 years.
We just lost touch.
Go follow him on all of his socials. Go to the streaming platform and search I Believe KJ. Download that song. Share. It's all about supporting local music. KJ, my friend,
Yes, buddy.
I will talk to you really soon.
Oh, you will.
And on behalf of KJ, my name is Paul. This has been AP Radio. Have a good night.
So.
I feel so deep.